Mark Schanowski's big board 6.0 had some movement, particularly around the bottom half of the top 10. We take the time to go over some of the top performances from throughout the week, including a certain Duke freshman setting an ACC freshman record. BLK Hunter, Virginia, vs Louisville, 26 PTS, 9/11 FG, 4 Reb, 4 ASK, 2 STL, 1 block. Hunter came in at no. 9 on Mark Schanowski's last NBA draft big board and looks like he could be a fixture in the top 10 for the rest of the season. In the number 3 Virginia Cavaliers win over number 18 ranked Louisville Cardinals, Hunter racked up a season-high 26 points on 11 field goal attempts. He continues to be a very proficient three-point shooter, and is up to an awesome 45.5% from the three-point line. And he has also increased his volume from outside as well, taking 2.2 attempts from three-point range per game. He imposed his will on the Cardinals on Saturday. Hunter went 2 halves from the three-point line and shot a remarkable 81.8% from the field in the win. Hunter is very rigid on offense, similar to Kawhi Leonard in the sense that he is a fundamental, no-frills player. In the Cavaliers' win over the Cardinals, Hunter had one play that specifically showcased what makes him such a great prospect, but also one of his clear weaknesses, which is the absence of above-average ball-handling skills. Around the 14-second mark in the clip below, Hunter gets a steal without even looking at the ball. This is something he will be capable at doing at the NBA level. Virginia head coach Tony Bennett has tutored Hunter well in staying attached to his man, and keeping his long arms in passing lanes to generate deflections. In the clip below, after he gets the steal and promptly fumbles the ball on the breakaway, he's able to gather himself and finish through contact. 2-6, for the R. 14. He is an excellent and physical defender, capable of guarding wings, guards, and bigs, but if he starts to increase his steal rate and generate more offense in transition at Virginia, he is sure to shoot even higher up NBA draft boards. R.J. Barrett, Duke vs Syracuse, 30 PTS, 2/5, 3 PT, 5 Reb, 7 ASK. With Zion Williamson out against Syracuse, R.J. Barrett was expected to step into a larger role on offense. However, based off his ghastly 8/30 shooting against the Orange in their previous matchup, no one saw this dominant of a performance coming. R.J. Barrett is hooping as eyes blue circle 21 points, 10-13 FG, blue circle 20th 20-point game, ACC freshman record 44-43 smiling face with horns, 15-14 2H pic.twitter.com/nizcoemsa, Duke basketball, at Dukem, February 24, 2019 3-0, for RJ. 630-point game on the year. Fire 14-19 from the floor. Also 6 times. Fire 65-58 smiling face with horns, 2H 344 pic.twitter.com/9i7tdp3ma5, Duke basketball, at Dukem, February 24, 2019 Barrett scored 30 points on 70% shooting, easily his most efficient defensive performance against a quality opponent. With Williamson out, Barrett was able to occupy the spot in the middle of Syracuse's 2-3 zone on offense. He used his floater, which looks funky at times but is mostly effective, to finish over length, and was able to finish well when positioned along the baseline. He was also better in transition in this one, taking a few attempts that looked wild but converting at solid rate. Barrett continued to flash a decent amount of playmaking as well. He collected 7 assists and also utilized great pass fakes many times throughout the road win. Many times in Saturday's win, Barrett would be opposed at the rim by 180 lb Syracuse big man Marek Dolazaj. Though Dolazaj, taller than Barrett at 6'10", he could put up little resistance when at 202 lb Barrett dropped his shoulder into his chest when barreling to the rim. Jarrett Culver, Texas Tech vs Kansas. Culver has made improvements to his all-around game this year, but he has been especially impressive when it comes to his improvement as a jump shooter. That improvement was on full display on Saturday night, when he helped the Red Raiders absolutely thrash the Kansas Jayhawks in a 29-point blowout win. In the rout, Culver helped Texas Tech hit a whopping 16 three-pointers. He went 3/8, 37.5% from the three-point line, but also showed off his athleticism, particularly on a one-foot leap to throw down a vicious tomahawk dunk. Juiced. Pic.twitter.com/P21AOZA7VR, Texas Tech basketball, at Texas Tech. February 24, 2019, he ended the game shooting 47.6% from the field, a great number considering the heavy load he carried in the blowout win. Culver attempted 21 shots against the Jayhawks. The next leading shot take for Texas Tech had 8 field goal attempts. But just to reiterate, Culver isn't a ball hog, he just has a massive 30.8% usage rate, which reflects how much the Red Raiders offense needs him. Regardless of team need, Culver should be a top 7 pick in this draft. Any team that gets him lower than 7th is likely getting a steal, as Culver's statistical profile indicates a player who should definitely have success in the NBA. He is a near 20 PPG scorer who is shooting 49.7% from the field, but also able to guard any of the opposing team's top 3 scorers and do a decent job. Culver is yet another PropSec who shows just how many intriguing wing players likely be in the top-heavy 2019 NBA draft class. Mark Schanowski, Kendall Gill, and will Purdue react to the Bulls' first 3-game winning streak of the season after Zach LaVine? The crew discusses the victory over the Celtics, what the future holds for Robin Lopez, 4:30, the re-energized play of LaVine, 7:30, what kind of a jump the team can make next season, 11:15, and the effect Otto Porter has had on the court and in the locker room, 15:30. Listen to the full podcast here or via the embedded player below. Bulls Talk Podcast. Subscribe. Oh, what a difference 77 days can make. 11 weeks ago, the Boston Celtics handed the Bulls their worst home loss in 53 seasons. There's never a good time for a 56-point drubbing, but it was the opening act for the wild 72-hour period that included a near mutiny by a handful of players after Jim Boylan called for a Sunday practice following the back-to-back set. If that wild 3-day span was the rock-bottom moment for the Boylan-era Bulls, Saturday's victory over those same Celtics, on the second half of a back-to-back no less, was the peak. Following a hard-fought road win in Orlando against a surging Magic team, the Bulls continued to show semblance of a team on the rise by taking it to a 37-win Celtics team in a 126-116 win, their third consecutive victory. The highlights of the night were career highs in points for both Zach LaVine, 42, and Lauri Markkanen, 35, who combined for 77 points on 59% shooting against the No.4 defense and a Celtics team that 2 days earlier held the league best Bucks to 98 points. They became the first Bulls duo to each tally 35 or more points since Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in 1996. Though they won't flirt with 80 combined points each night, this is what it was supposed to look like all season. Markkanen missing 10 weeks with the elbow sprain halted what could have been an entire year meshing and gelling with LaVine as the Bulls' 1-2 punch. But the duo is making up for lost time in a big way. Including Saturday's win, LaVine is now averaging 26.6 points on 55% shooting over his last 6 games, and Markkanen has contributed 25.3 points and 13.5 rebounds in that span. It's not a coincidence that the Bulls are 4-2 in that stretch, by far their best of the season. It's a really good feeling because we're starting to understand each other's games well, LaVine said. Even at points of the game, if he's hot and I'm hot, we understand that we can still help each other get shots because there's so much attention on either one of us at a time. We're going to be a good 1-2 punch. LaVine and Markkanen have been the driving force behind a Bulls team that looks entirely different than it did even 2 months ago. There were more ugly nights for Boylan's team after that 56-point home loss. Losses to Sacramento's Golden State, Denver and Atlanta stick out, but the effects of that one specifically acted as a turning point for the young team trying to understand their new head coach. "We are a different team than we were at that time. There's been a lot to do about that situation," Boylan said before the game. "I was brought in to effect change. That was a moment that I thought we changed the most. Although it wasn't pleasant, it was necessary, and I feel in my heart we're seeing the benefits of that situation now. Still, it's important to remember that the Boylan era was less than a week old when the Celtics took it to the Bulls in early December. As they began to buy in more to what Boylan was selling, they were still dealing with new schemes, new terminology and a new mindset." Injuries to Markkanen, Chris Dunn, Bobby Portis and Levine had halted potential chemistry that needed time to simmer. The last 6 games have produced results that could be a jumping-off point for the rebuild. "The only way you can fight through it is to come together," Markkanen said. "That's what we've been doing. We demand greatness from each other every day and I'm just glad to see results. Our confidence is sky high. We come together every day, we're more of a together team. It's good to see results coming through because every day we're going at it." The Bulls now have the league's no. 2 offense over their last 9 games, and in that span they've played 5 defenses ranked in the top 10 in efficiency. The defense is still a work in progress, but the foundation of the rebuild is beginning to harden. Their next step is to make it into something consistent, which they'll have a chance to do over the next 22 games without worsening their lottery odds all that much. It could have all come crashing down back in early December, and almost did. But a 66-point swing and a victory later, the Bulls look like they're buying into what Boylan is selling and are taking the next step of the rebuild in rather impressive fashion. "We're playing for each other. We're trying to raise each other up. We're honoring the things we've worked on. We're getting the most out of our practices. We're focused when it's time to be focused," Boylan said. "Maybe it's starting to sink in.